I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you're a regular visitor here. And if you've not been here before, big welcome to you. And I'd love it if you'd subscribe. So today, what am I bringing you today? Well, this is good news because today, which is January the 12th, although this video will probably be out a few days before January the 12th, Mars turns direct in Gemini. This is super good news. This is like Mars, who is the god of war, Aries god of war. He is like literally saying, hey, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. So let's just have a look at what's happening in the event chart for the moment that Mars does go direct. Well, let's just look at the energy of Mars, first of all, because as I said, Mars is the god of war, the god Aries. Hence, he rules the sign of Aries. And this is about energy, action, physicality. So if you think of that kind of fiery kind of persona that Mars has, how does Mars fit with the mutable, airy energy of Gemini? Well, we've certainly experienced how that's felt over the last few months, because the air of Gemini can fan the flames of Mars. Therefore, our thoughts can be more combustible, along with our speech. Because maybe we say what we're thinking rather than thinking about what we're going to say first. So we put our both feet in well up to our knees. So whilst Mars has been retrograde, it will have given us a chance, though, to heal any collateral damage caused by this transit of Mars through Gemini. And once Mars turns direct on the 12th, he still has a way to go and gather his energies for his move into the sign of Cancer. But that's not until March the 25th. So we've actually still got this Mars energy in Gemini for quite a while longer. So I wonder how the planet will fare with this energy. Well, I think there will be breakthroughs in current deadlock situations, because transiting Uranus, that is retrograde in Taurus still, is currently trining, which is a helpful aspect, retrograde Mercury in Capricorn. Now Uranus, my big outer boy Uranus, is all about the unexpected shocks. It's explosive news when it's trining Mercury, shocking events. And because Uranus is also squaring Lilith, newly arrived in Leo, I think we could hear some shocking revelations about world leaders and maybe also celebrities. Now, Lilith, I've done a separate short heads up video about that energy and how it fits with the sign of Leo, because there's an element of the narcissistic edge that comes through with that Lilith in Leo energy that we have to be mindful of. And I'll give that message out to world leaders and celebrities who may be watching. Watch your egos with that Lilith in Leo. Just take a step back, breathe and think before you speak. And, you know, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking about Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and the new book that he's got being launched. Now, I'm actually doing a separate video about Prince Harry and about this book, that book. So that'll be out very soon as well, if not already by the time you see this. So I did have a quick look, though, at the astrological energies, and they're really not in his favour for launching this book at the moment. I also don't think that Uranus squaring Venus, because Uranus, our planet of the unexpected and shocks, Venus, the feminine, I don't think that's going to be very helpful for Meghan either, the Duchess of Sussex. And when Mercury does go direct on the 18th, which of course is our planet of communication, which has been causing so many hiccups, it certainly has for me, and hitches in communications. When it does go direct, I think we could see quite explosive energy around the revelations of what comes out now. I'm not just thinking of Prince Harry's book. I'm thinking just in general in the news, because Uranus also is going direct on the 22nd. So the revelations that come out could be potentially quite damaging. And as I'm recording this today, which is the 9th of January, overnight there were extraordinary kind of scenes in Brazil's parliament where protesters stormed the parliament building, almost like a kind of a mirror image or a copycat of what happened on January the 6th last year to the House of Representatives, or to the Capitol building rather, in America, with and it was extraordinary, because what this was about was that the outgoing president has actually said exactly the same as the outgoing president did around the North America elections, that it was unfair and that the vote had been stolen. So it's really strange that we're seeing this in two of these American countries, a South American country, and we saw it in the North American country. So it's just interesting that this is around. And with all these energies this month going direct, Mars, Mercury, Uranus, there will be nothing in the cosmos that is retrograde for a while. And that really speeds up the momentum. We will really see things moving forward in a positive and potentially destructive way. So it's how we use the energy. And we are, of course, talking about Mars. And remember, as I often say, the energies are neutral. The aspects and angles give them an edge of helpful or unhelpful, but how do we work with them? That is where we have our power, if you like. There's another interesting aspect, which is Saturn, my big outer boy of restriction, of containment, of boundaries, of timing, is making a helpful sextile to the dwarf planet Eris. And this, in a sense, is what we've seen in Brazil. And it suggests that there will be a continuation of people protesting about unfair pay or outdated laws or unfair, unfair decisions around politicians and politics. And I think what's interesting is that Saturn's part is to produce some order, some structure as to how people make their point, and a recognition from those in authority that turning a blind eye is just not going to work anymore. So people really are going to have to pay attention to the community at large. So how is Mars going direct going to affect you personally? Well, I do think Mars going direct will be a welcome relief as the energies shift into a more productive motion, and opportunities to double check projects that perhaps we've tried to launch during this retrograde period will get a little bit more of a green light. So think back to the end of October 2022. Think about what areas of your life you've been struggling with, because this will give you a clue as to where the energies will become more favourable for you. And we mustn't forget that this is also an excellent time, with Mars going direct, to get our physical bodies back in shape if we've let things lapse over the holiday season. So don't forget that Mars in an air sign produces hot air. Don't get overheated about situations that are out of your control. Allow your thoughts, your communications to be sharp, focused, because in that way, you're using the energy of Mars in a controlled way. So I do have some final thoughts, because I thought of quite an interesting metaphor involving hot air balloons. So if we use the Mars energy in a harmonious way in Gemini, it's like a hot air balloon that once an air balloon is airborne, we just need sensitive control of how much air is either let into the balloon or out, because that ensures the safety of the journey and a gentle landing once one reaches one's chosen destination. And then, just to explain how hot air balloons work, which I got off Google, but they work, and I mean it's basic physics and science, and we probably all did this at school, and I did, and I do know that hot air rises, and so hot air balloons work because hot air rises. By heating the air inside the balloon with the burner, it becomes lighter than the cooler air on the outside, and this causes the balloon to float upwards as if it were in water. And then, if the air is allowed to cool, the balloon begins to slowly come down. And I think that's a wonderful metaphor for Mars in Gemini. So there we go. That is my sense of what Mars direct in Gemini is going to be for us all. I think, as I say, think back to how or what areas of your life have been a little bit tricky, because you're going to see those areas easing up. So thank you so much for joining me for this video about Mars going direct. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.